Metro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog, and we are kicking it off with an absolute bang. You may remember from last week's vlog I said how there were some parcels that were waiting for me at the collection office. Well, they're here. There's some great stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, let's do it, shall we? I'm armed with my parcels. Really looking forward to getting into these. But this is going to be a real good vlog, I think, because tomorrow morning I'm heading out on not only a game hunt, but I'm not going to spoil it, but a very special day out. I've been looking forward to it for quite some time. Me and my friend have been trying to get a schedule together for a bit of time. It's just not quite worked out for weeks, but tomorrow it's finally happening. We're going to hit up some shops that I've been wanting to go to for months. We're going to go and tour his house and his display rooms and everything else. But yeah, that's all coming up on this week's vlog. But first of all, there's some real gold in here. Right, let's get into this one first of all, shall we? So this has come from my friend. You may probably know this gentleman, I'm sure you do, and that is my friend Scott over at Sega Zombie. I mean, if for any reason you're not already aware or you're not already supporting Scott over on his channel, make sure you do so. Go and check him out. I've been watching Scott's channel for years now. Scott's actually got a shop, so he's got a shop called the Retro Realm. It's just a bit too far out for me, so if you guys are closer to it, I'll try and leave all the links below, not only to his channel but to his shop. So if you guys are close enough to go and visit him, make sure you do so. Go and support. I'm hoping one day that I can find myself in that part of the country and I can go and pay the shop a visit in person. But until then, I have to live vicariously through the Royal Mail network. He showed a couple of pieces that he had recently, and I thought, yeah, they're right up my street. So I agreed a price on them, a very good price. Scott's a very generous guy. I paid for them. And then he's so busy running the shop, and I'm so busy doing everything I'm doing that a couple of weeks went by, we both forgot. And then I messaged him, I was like messing about, saying, "You forgot about me, bro." And you know, he chucked in a couple of goodies, and real goodies as well. A couple of other things I was interested in. He didn't need to do that. I was in no rush. I've got enough games to play. But yeah, it was very kind of him. So the first two things I'm going to show are what I paid for. There's a note in here, so we'll get to that. Right, okay, let's have a look at the note. Hey Callum, sorry for the delay in getting this sent out, bruv. Loving the weekly vlogs. You are part of my Sunday routine. Shout out to Scott and his daughter if you're watching. Love to you and your family, Scott, Sega Zombie. Absolute legend. If you're watching, my friend, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to save that. We're going to try and get to the stuff, as I say, I was aware of. Okay, yes. So, firstly, a couple of manuals. So Scott sent me this video, it's about 2 minutes long, of all these sort of like manuals and inserts and everything that he had just boxes of as a result of his shop. And there was a couple that I needed. Thankfully, I was in the games room when he sent them to me, so I was able to check for myself what I had in the manual. Randomly, I was missing Streets of Rage manual. So great to complete my trilogy now. Obviously, I've got all 3 games, but this was the one manual that I was missing, so that's fantastic. And also this Super James Pond manual, which is quite a strange one because it's like someone's taped it. I was gonna say it's like gloss, but it's got like a tape on it. So yeah, massive shout out to Scott for helping me out, helping me complete both of those games, and he's also put in here a couple of Retro Realm stickers. RG Jr. will be sticking one of these in his bedroom, no doubt. He loves putting things all over places that he shouldn't be putting them, so I'll give one of them to him, and I'll add one of these to my pile of stickers. One day I'm going to sticker blast something in here. I keep saying it, but it's going to happen, right? My sticker pile is building up. So yeah, let's get into what I purchased from him. Just a couple of games on PlayStation 2 you don't see very often. And they are, you'll notice a theme. So this is Hitman Blood Money. So this is a 2006 stealth game developed by IO Interactive. This is actually the 4th installment in the Hitman series. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never played through a Hitman game. I've seen some of the footage of the recent ones, and I think they look really good. It's one of the things that I'm going to delve into one day. I'm not a stealth guy by any means. I'm more of a kick the door in. I always pick the heavy guy. I always pick like the machine guns. I always, you know, no matter how I start games, I always end up just, you know, blasting everything in sight. I don't know why. It's just what I revert to, right? Revert to type. But I mean, look at this. You'll see why I bought this. It's a steelbook on the PS2. I'm after all the steelbooks and all the cardboard for the PS2 I can get my hands on, and this is in beautiful condition. So often, I always say it, steelbooks of this era and the era that followed it are absolutely battered, but this is lovely. And I love how the tie, it's actually like the pinstripe's actually the metallic from underneath. Really nice, really nice. So yeah, very, very happy with that. And then, following a similar theme, we have got this also beautiful copy of Resident Evil 4. So unsurprisingly, this is the 4th installment in the mainline Resident Evil series. I think this was a 2005 release. This is a game that I own on multiple systems, but I'm going to buy it soon on the PS4 because I've never played through this one. I spoke before about my Resident Evil history. I played through the first 2 on the PlayStation 1. I played through the remake of 2 on the PS4. I've heard good things about the remake of 4, and at this point, I'm sure that's the best way to play it. So I'm going to play the remake of this on the PS5 at some point in the not too distant future. But again, look at that quality, man. Look at the condition. This is what I mean. I had to have these as soon as he showed these, right, that come into his shop. Very, very happy to be adding Steelbooks in this condition to my PlayStation 2 collection. And if I look at my Steelbook collection now, I've got Area 51, I've got 24 the game, I've got The Godfather. I don't think there's that many more Steelbooks. If you guys know of many more Steelbooks for the PS2, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to collect them all. Absolutely delighted with that. And then we get to Scott's very generous gift. So this was something that he showed on his site again, and I just asked him how much. Next thing I know, he told me he'd thrown it in the box and it was coming my way. It's a really nice condition as well. And that is for the Mega Drive, of course, right? It's Sega Zombie. The Little Mermaid. So this Blue Sky Software developed 1992 release has very similar gameplay to Echo, as you'll be seeing on the screen now, but in complete stark contrast to Echo, certainly my childhood experiences with Echo. This game is apparently very easy. There's a playthrough on YouTube which is like an hour long, and if you look at the reviews, that's kind of what it's criticised for. It's criticised for being very easy and very short. So like I say, it might look like Echo, but that's, I think, where the similarities end. But for me, it's Mega Drive goodness, right? It's 16-bit goodness. You guys know where I'm at with that. Any day I can add any 16-bit game to my walls, one of either wall, I'm delighted with it. And look at that, fantastic condition. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, man. And you know what? I'm a fan of short retro games, I really am. This got criticised for being short, an hour long. I love finishing games. I love being able to add to my tally of games that I've finished. And coming off a game like Sea of Stars where I'm 30 hours in and I'm hoping to get it finished this week. I think I'm near the end. To be able to just play through a game in 1 hour, I love that. Especially when I've come off a big game, like I say, I can just throw on a retro game, sit here, play through it, enjoy it, know that I've done it, put it on the shelf and think, oh yeah, I beat that game. I really enjoy that. So yeah, can't thank you enough, Scott. Some absolutely amazing additions to my collection there, my friend. And like I say, if you're not for any reason, make sure you go and subscribe to Sega Zombie. The link will be in the description below. And speaking of YouTubers, this next one. So this is a gift sent to me by Ghetto Gang member and good friend Tony over at Whizbits Random Gaming. I believe this is a note. Let's take a look. Hi Callum, been meaning to send you this for ages. Sorry about the delay. Enjoy, Robbie Whizbit. So yeah, there will be a link below to Whizbits Random Gaming. Now, this game kind of surmises what he does so well. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to lesser known titles, indie titles, smaller releases, and in particular with games and libraries like the Switch. He's a master of the cheap games. There's so many like cheap games that he's put me onto, you know, like 10, 15 pound games at CEX. He's bought them, he's tried them, and he's always letting us know in the Ghetto Gang which ones are like worth picking up. So if he's sending me this, I'm sure it's a decent game. And that is Killer Frequency. This was a 2023 first-person horror adventure game. It takes place in 1987, a great year. Great year, 1987. In this game, you play as a DJ who becomes an impromptu radio dispatcher when a serial killer returns to his hometown. Yeah, a very interesting looking game in terms of its visuals from what I can see on the back of the box. And like I say, massive shout out once again to Tony, who knows his stuff when it comes to these kind of titles on the Switch. So any day I can add good Switch games to my collection is a good day. We're really focusing on Nintendo Switch, right? If you haven't seen Wednesday's video, if you're not aware, I've done the PS3 Essentials set, man. It feels like a weight off my shoulders that the PS3 Essentials set has been done. all 118 games done, locked in, on the shelf. So yeah, I can now start focusing on other things, and Nintendo Switch is definitely one of those things where my focus is going to be. Love collecting for the system, and yeah, they don't take up much room. So massive shout out to Tony, and again, make sure you go and check out his channel. I'll make sure the links are below. Now, that takes me to something very special, something very heartfelt, and again, come from a Ghetto Gang member. This is a gift, and what a gift it is. So let's just get into it. I think the best thing for me to do would be... I think the best thing for me to do is read the note. Have we got a note? Yes, here we go. Okay. Hey Callum, hope you enjoy the game. Thanks for all your videos. Really enjoy the channel. Long may it continue. Have a good one. Cheers, Alex, aka Canartron. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's his name on Discord. So, Alex has sent me a game which was quite a difficult game to track down. He wanted to send me a sealed brand new copy of it, which he's been able to do. And the reason that he wanted to send me this is because he was involved in the development of this game. This is a game which he worked on. So for me, it just feels like, I don't know, man, it feels like he's gifted me a piece of him, a piece of what he's invested his time into. His efforts, his passions have led to being in that privileged position to be a game developer. And that's the thing about the Ghetto Gang, right? It's not just game collectors and game enthusiasts like myself. We've got professional reviewers, journalists, game developers on there. So it's so good to get like a melting pot of all different people's opinions and perceptions of very different games. But anyway, that game that he worked on is, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Roki? I'm going to go Roki. It's a 2020 action-adventure game developed by British studio Polygon Treehouse. The game follows Tove, I believe, a young girl travelling into the ancient wilderness to rescue her younger brother Lars from Roki, a pitch-black monster from the pages of a fairy tale. This is one of the games that features many different sort of like folklore creatures, and you have to solve puzzles to unlock paths which take you deeper into the forest, of which you have to progress through to rescue your brother. According to Wikipedia, it's a modern take on the point-and-click adventure. It's a very well-received game, currently sitting at 82 out of 100 in terms of the PS5 score on Metacritic. And yeah, it's just one of them games that I think has become quite sought after. It's out of stock at CEX. The cheapest one available right now on eBay is £65. But like I say, for me, this is like a real sentimental piece. To have him give this to me, as I say, that he was a member of the development team on. And yeah, it's super rare release. There's all sorts of goodies in here as you get with super rare. I hope he doesn't mind, but I'm going to take out this sleeve. I've had a couple of these super rare games now. I had Last Day of June recently. I just can't display them in these packets. I don't know why super rare do that, and I get that they like to add additional extras, but you just think, couldn't they have put them inside the box? But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm going to put this in my collection, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to give my thoughts back to Alex on this. And yeah, can't thank him enough. Very generous of him, and I really look forward to playing through it, but not so much just playing through it, but being able to discuss it with somebody that was involved in the making of it, right? So yeah, I feel very privileged to have that one, and I think that's a great start to this week's vlog, right? As I say, some fantastic pieces there from some great people. So make sure you check out the links below for their channels, and I think next time you see me, I should be on my way to this big day out that I've been looking forward to. Until then, in a bit. Good morning, and after a very early start this morning, I found myself in the city of Doncaster. So that's today's plan. We're going to be hitting up Doncaster and Sheffield. There's loads of shops, CEXs. We're also going to be going to check out a good friend and fellow tuber halfway through. So yeah, really excited about it, but we're going to be starting with Doncaster CEX. There's a game there, quite an expensive, pricey game that I'm hoping to buy. It's going to be my first purchase out of those vouchers that I managed to get recently. So that's where we're heading first, Doncaster CEX. Let's do it. that is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen happen in a CEX store. Like, before we get into that, I really enjoyed Doncaster CEX. I thought it was really good stuff in there. I spent a lot of money. We'll get into all that later. What's arguably my number one target in terms of retro, realistic retro, shall we say. So we'll get into all that later. But I don't even know how to process it. I'm sort of at the counter. I'm paying for my items, and there's a guy next to me, and he's bought something in, and I can see all the staff have become flustered, shall we say, and they're all debating with themselves, and no one wants to take ownership of this game. And I'm peering over, and it's Rule of Rose. So this guy is trading a copy of Rule of Rose, and obviously it's a very expensive game at CX. I'll put it on screen now. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm not in the market for it, or I might have tried to buy it off him at voucher price. And then I've noticed, because they're all debating whether it's real or not, they unsealed it. So this guy took in a sealed copy of Rule of Rose, official PlayStation 2 seal. And I just watched them rip it open so they can put it on the shelf, CEX. I mean, I've seen some things in my time, but tearing open a sealed copy of one of the most expensive games on the PS2 is something else. But I mean, I get why they do it, but wow. Anyway, some start to the day that. So my understanding is there's a video game shop somewhere close to here. So I'm going to go find that. Try not to get distracted by clothes because we've been spending enough money on games. So yeah, let's go find this other shop. Okay, so that was my first experience of Cool Spot Games. I actually didn't even know that it existed prior to today's visit. I think I timed it badly. He was saying to me he'd literally just come back from holiday today. So there was a lot of stock that he needed to sort through. There was a lot of games everywhere. And he was telling me about his back stock, which sounds phenomenal. Super Nintendo, everything. But it was very difficult because he didn't have it all there. A lot of it was stored both in the shop upstairs, but also in like a lockup. And it was like, well, what game do you want? And I'm like, everything I don't own. And yeah, it was just bad timing. It's definitely somewhere I'd go back to. Because, yeah, from what I understand and from what I could see, some amazing stuff in the shop. So, yeah, probably one of them where we'll go back another day. I'll probably chat to him via messages and see if we can figure out what games he's got that I need. But now it's time for the fantastic Doorway to Darkness. Let's keep it going. Okay, so the problem is this is an impromptu stop. It was so close to where I was in Doncaster, I couldn't not come. But my schedule is so tight today that I've literally just got to do a fly-in visit. And this isn't the shop for a fly-in visit because there's so much stuff in here. I love this shop, but yeah, we've got to do a real whistle-stop tour because we've got to get on to the next location and go and pick up my friend. No matter how much of a rush you're in, I think it's impossible not to spend money in Doorway to Darkness. I bought myself a nice PS1 game. But yeah, let's get a move on now. Let's go and pick up my friend and your friend. I'm sure you'll know who he is. But yeah, let's go and grab him. And then we've got a couple more spots we want to hit up whilst we're in Sheffield way. So that's the next mission. Let's get to Sheffield.
Come on then.
Yo, what are you saying, man? Do you mind being on camera? Are you okay?
Bit dodgy with camera. Used to it.
Mate, this is so good.
Lots of work. Very nearly finished.
So for people that, if anyone doesn't know, I'm sure most people are watching you. You've just built this.
Let me just turn my tokusatsu off because it's playing songs. Yeah, well, just for a year, me, my dad, and some professionals have been building this studio. We might as well show them why we built the studio. We've got something here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. Do it. So
Theo's made me these, right?
Those 3 are yours.
Look how good these are.
There's only 3 of each in the world. You've got one, I've got one, and Kev's got one.
Mate, I don't. It's weird when you see them. Like, why did nobody ever do these before?
On the table, and then you can have a good look.
You know, like Toe Jam and Hill, they just feel like they were meant to be toys.
He's got Chupa Chups for obvious reasons for them to know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
And they haven't got proper articulation.
They
just peg like that. It's just like a peg. So they don't like little ghetto play with them.
Is that supposed to come off?
They all come off.
I thought I was going to have to cut the video then.
Just little pegs like that just push in. So you just they're a bit heavy with them. So
yeah.
His swords come out of his back as well.
So what did you do with these? 3D print these?
Everything, yeah, this is all just 3D printed and I've painted it and lacquered it, so it's not being made in any kind of resin or plastic. They're basically how you'd make a prototype.
Yeah. So good though. I love the attention to detail, like the trainers and that. Yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah, they took ages to paint because of how neat they are. If you're doing something that's more like dry brushy and a bit more like messy, you can afford to, like, have colours bleed into each other and things. But because they're obviously like this kind of style.
Yeah.
You have to I have done so much cutting back and forth. It drove me nuts.
See
something like this, look, this is dry brushed. You can be all dirty with it. You can put a bit of texture and roast and all this. This is another video.
This is what you did for the Big Bot Bash, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was a big.
So you just got a load of random bits. A lot of connects, wasn't it?
Bubbaloo. Is it Bubbaloo? Hubba Bubba.
The ones that come in a roll.
Yeah.
There's
bits of Lego, bits of pen. All stuff stuck together for a YouTube collaboration I did with a load of other crafters in the crafting space. But as you can see, you can be dirty with that. You can dry brush it. If a bit of dust goes on it, it just adds to it and things. But doing these kind of figures, everything has to be so perfectly painted.
But they're just the perfect aesthetic for my room, mate.
Yeah.
I've been thinking for ages about where these two are going. So obviously I've got the.
I didn't have fun doing 6 of each.
I've seen the video, mate.
Making 9. I didn't have fun, but yeah. I wanted them to be good for you.
Yeah, man. Love that.
And they're all slightly different sizes, so the ones that Kev's got, his Zool is bigger because I printed it off and it was too big, and his Toe Jam is too big compared to his Earl.
Got ya.
Size, scale-wise, our ones are all like I feel in perfect scale to each other. Like if they did crossover in the same IP, that's like I would see Zool as like the size of Sonic.
And then on here, you've got all the other stuff that you've made.
Yeah, this is all stuff that I've made.
So good to see it, because obviously I watch every video, so seeing it in person is
like
just...
Ones like this, they're different. They're made from like a plastic rubber, so he's got like squishy horns. He's more like, he's an action figure that we actually sold.
Sold out?
Yeah, these ones are made in China. These are...
I haven't seen this one before.
No, they're just like colourways that Rainbow Yarn did.
Right.
So it's like, that's a 3D printed zombie one that my friend wanted to paint.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, some like this.
And this is what you were stressing about recently.
Yeah, and these are like ones I've been making now. They're like proper monster in my pocket, squishy. Yeah. So that's what I've been making.
Sure, a lot of my viewers will know what this is as well.
They'll know that one. I don't really make modern stuff, like modern IPs, but I just love that franchise, and there's not really merch.
Have you played through the second game yet?
Well, I just...
Blasphemous.
I got on the second to last boss, and after 2 weeks of trying, I thought, I'm not having fun with this. I think I've got everything I need to from this game. I feel like I've spent like a month playing it. I don't like boss battles in games anyway. Usually when I get to a boss is when I start to lose interest. I don't like repetitive Groundhog Day stuff, doing it over and over again.
I've got the game, but I've never really put any time into it.
I love it. It's a great. I love the art style. I love the music and everything. The character's so unique looking, but I'm also not into games where you have to play bosses over and over and over again.
Big boy.
So, yeah,
I still love that eye. I mean, look on camera. It looks like it's got a eye in it.
It does. It looks, when I put a picture on Instagram, like I've doctored it to look better than it does, but it just is genuinely a dope. I mean, these purple lights and things out. But
as cool as everything is, this is still probably my favourite.
Yeah, he's the next toy. And shouts to Kev on these boxes, man. He
makes
me these. Yeah, he's the next figure.
I was talking to Kev this morning. The game room's happening soon. So everyone keeps asking me. But I think he's not far off.
Yeah, shouts to Kev on these lights as well. I've got the rest of them to put in, but my friend's going to put them in because he's neater than me. So half of them are still waiting to be put in.
Yeah.
And then I'll put the plastic, this stuff over.
Yeah. But, they look great though. What you got in there? Some goodies?
Yeah. So as you know, my dad works in house clearances and we get loads of games all the time. Now I've got like 6 boxes like this just full of random games. I collect some retro games, but not a lot. So these are all going to Kex. But you take out any that you want first for your collection.
I love the sound of that, mate.
But don't take them to Kexer. Don't be like, this is worth 6 quid. But if you need them for your collection, which you might not, they might be none.
Yeah. I think I need that Worms collection straight away.
Do you?
Yeah.
Free pick of anything in there. I think they might be Crash 1 and 2 of mine. That's it.
Yeah, I've got all them anyway.
Yeah, so other than have a look, take out you want.
Mate, this is.
And then the rest, I'm gonna Kex some today. Bear in mind, I've never Kex anything at Kex ever. I've never took out to Kex. I've been piling up these boxes. Like I said, I got like 6 boxes full of these random games that you can have first dibs.
Yeah, man. Like you say, these are just. Oof.
Is it bashed?
Yeah, but like you say, these were house clearance.
Oh yeah, house clearance.
So a lot of these have been found in skips, dumps.
Yeah, just when house clearance, they're a lot.
But sometimes things look dirty, but like it's not necessarily scratched.
Dirty, or is it scratched?
Yeah, it's dirty, but
we'll get away. No, it's
that'll be fine. Right. And I've got replacement cases.
Yeah.
I'm not adverse to
if it's all for your collection, take it.
Frankenstein your things together.
Selling Kex,
I ain't selling it in Kex, brother.
I need this.
No.
Yeah.
None of that,
fill
mate.
your boots, bro.
Nice one, man. What we got in here then? Mate, you got some money here, trust me.
Look, it's just got multiple things in.
Yeah.
House clearances are random.
So I've just been through them all. Shake Dimension, Galaxy 2, Punch Out. The biggest one was Kirby's Epic Yarn. That's like a £40 game at CEX. So yeah, you've done well, man.
Was it? Well,
yeah.
Your dad's done well. We've got them all.
Hey, it's going in your pocket,
but
mate.
As I say, I've got multiple of these boxes like this.
Yeah.
Look, I've got just a random extra one of them.
Chuck it in. And it's a shame that this isn't on the system because this is clean. It's a shame I don't collect platinum, but look how clean that is. Nice.
If I give it you, would it make you start platinum or not? He's dope, that guy. That green bird. He's fire. We don't know enough toys of him.
That's another idea. Look, is that how you think now? You're always thinking about what toys you can make.
Yeah, I just like to. I like to make toys of obscure characters that toy so I can see what they might have looked like. Mint. So we've got a big stack that we're going to take into Kex.
Yeah.
Into Kex shortly, aren't we? And that's all.
Shall we have a look at your toy room?
Oh yeah, do you want to see the toys?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
I love that.
That's a card rack though. It's not even for.
You've got some amazing VHS. I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah, I love VHS. It's the artwork, man.
So we're not even in the toy room yet, by the way. This is just like what?
But this is a lot of my good stuff.
Yeah.
This is a lot when I've travelled around Japan and countries and I picked up real obscure stuff. Upstairs is more mainstream lines, Turtles, Thundercats. This is like the Garlu, the Safubi, the Shogun Warriors. The real like prize rare pieces.
Yeah. Picked up some of this stuff in Italy as well, didn't you, recently?
This I grew from scratch.
Were these from Italy?
They're Japanese, but I got one of them in Italy.
Yeah,
It's
Shogun
got a lot
Warrior.
of Japanese toys.
Love this. I don't think I've seen this before.
Sun Guts, that's for Toy-Con bad boy.
I love that.
Yeah, needs a bit of a dust this, but it just means taking everything off. And
Yeah, I know the feeling, man.
You know what it's like.
Yeah, these are awesome. It's like stuff that I don't know about, but I appreciate the aesthetic of it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know
This is
the history of the Japanese stuff.
It's like it's all Japanese and it's mostly Japanese and then colour obscure things, but it just looks nice. Colourful on the yellow shells. Right, brother. My brother.
Well, let's go to the actual toy room then, shall we? Need it to the toy room because there's just cool stuff everywhere. So is this all like actual movie posters?
Yeah, actual
or?
like original. I mean, look at that. Get up high. See the wild cat.
This is awesome, man. These posters get hard to find as well.
Yeah, they are. But I get a lot of foreign ones. They're a bit cheaper if they're foreign. If it's like got a foreign.
I think they're a bit cooler with that writing on there.
I think
Yeah.
it's a bit more obscure.
Yeah.
And I want to get rid of this wallpaper at some point, but it's just such a big task. Yeah. Imagine stripping all that and then plastering
Taking
it
everything off.
Oh man, it's like a grand's job.
This looks awesome. This Stallone
grand
one.
I'm not spending on the wall. Yeah, that were a gift for me.
This is very much like the Rambo 3 video game. I just think.
Oh yeah, it's the same artwork.
I just think it's like the best artwork. It's just. I mean, look at it. It's just.
Nowadays, everything's a photo.
The most
but you
alpha male. Flip. Look at it, man. What more could you want?
Look at like the artwork, painting all that white little sweat beads and that's. But that behind you is like one of my favourite movie posters of all time, and the film's so hard to get. It's not even a good film, but the poster's just fire.
I'd never even heard of it.
Hockey mask, Cobra. Got an M16 with
it's all going on, isn't it?
Cobra gang. Yeah, I just love it. I love it.
Yeah, man. Right, let's go to the room. Now we're actually in the toy room.
Yeah. Let me put this up a bit.
Oh wow.
Now this is a room with no rhyme or reason. There's no like, because I've got enough to fill three toy rooms like in storage and stuff. So it's not like this section's Thundercats, this section's Turtles.
Yeah.
It's all just wherever it'll fit. We aren't looking too messy.
In a way, though, I like that because it's like keeps you looking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can spend hours in here just looking.
It's a picture of retro rather than like museum, which ideally I would like. I would like everything in sections.
Yeah. Do a quick scan around, man. Don't even know where to start, bro.
There might be some dusty shells. I can't dust everything. And I used to have all my lighting that's in the studio in here, so it was all lit up a lot better. But
a lot of rare turtles as well.
Yeah, some rare turtles.
What are these things?
They're all different kinds of like little muscle figures, but some of them are new and some of them are like suckload designer toys and things.
I've never seen that Commando either.
Yeah, there's Commando, Last Action Hero, Terminator, Robocop, Tales from the Crypt.
We have to. I mean, we could be in here for hours. I'm just gonna have to do a quick overview because
your people want games anyway.
You know, there's a lot. I think the two always.
Toys,
the two go hand in hand, don't they?
I think they do. But
I've often said if I couldn't collect games, I collect toys. I just can't house both.
But the good thing you've got with your games is that all of them are pretty much the same shape and size to an extent. They're all square. They go on rows. You haven't got like these figures with all the bits that all need like.
And sometimes I've questioned whether do I have to have uniformity, or has game collecting bred me to be that uniformity? You know, because I'm only used to collecting and being able to display in that way, that I feel like I'd struggle now. Like toys, I just find them so difficult to.
No, they are. Like these are like 5 card racks deep. They're just full of all different stuff. Like I just change them around.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I've spent less and less time in here over the last few months because I've been in studio the whole time.
Yeah.
This is a room that I used to do most of my editing in, but because it's been so hot, I don't even want to be in this room editing. The colours pop more than games. I think. Like your PlayStation games are all like all weird, like all one colour on a thing.
That's why I display the SNES like that's why I put the art on shirt.
Perfect.
Yeah. You got to, especially that older stuff when you just actually.
Because it's the box
paint.
colours and the art for a lot of these that make them, isn't it?
I saw your video on these recently as well.
Toxic Crusaders, Food Fighters.
I mean, like I say, if anybody for whatever reason isn't following Theo, make sure you check him out because you were right about this toy line. Just
they're one of the hardest to complete, and that is like
absolutely bang on. I love these Foo Fighters as well. I've never seen these, you know.
Have all their proper weapons.
I've never seen the vehicles.
Egg box.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
And there's a frying pan. I think like a griddle as well.
So did you get this stuff before the hype?
Yeah.
Because you never see it now.
No, so a lot of my toy collecting has come from never being part of like the hype that happened in lockdown. I've been on this for like 20 years. Before that, because my dad was a toy collector growing up.
Yeah. He was a big Action Man guy, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
This stuff.
Yeah.
So primarily, my collection 80-90% of it was all got before the hype. I haven't paid a lot of money for a lot of this stuff in here. There's the odd thing that I've paid up for now and again. The same can't be said for the Safubi stuff downstairs, but all this video stuff is all things that primarily I've just got cheap over the years. So been looking.
And then it comes around in cycles.
And in a way, a lot of it I'm over it now. I've seen it a million times. It doesn't, like, some people see this stuff and it's like, oh my god, I used to have that, but I've always had it in a way because
it's like anything, isn't it? Your novelty can wear off.
Like this all come out of house clearance recently. I did a video on this Brave Star Fort Carrier. That all come out of the house clearance. Like the games, like they're nothing to me because my dad gets stuff like this sometimes. This was all out of a skip. And that's like complete. That's like a really rare set. It had every single piece, nothing broken. And I did a whole video on that, but it's the perks of having a dad that works in that job, and it's his business. He works for himself doing it, so it's not even like he has to like.
If my dad ever comes back with the milk, mate, I'm gonna try.
I hope he does house clearance.
Pirates of the Dark Water. Did you watch the cartoon?
Yeah.
Because there's a game, right? I was thinking about buying the game.
The game's fire. It's a fire game.
The SNES one is. It's different. The Mega Drive and the SNES ones are different.
Oh, is it? Well, what I played.
The SNES ones are beat 'em up. So you walk around and just that's the SNES one. Yeah, the Mega Drive one's on CX right now, no manual, £410.
Oh really?
And I was honestly debating buying it with these vouchers that I've got.
It's arcadey, isn't it? It's very good. That I loved it, and the emulator I played it on cut off like towards the last level, so I didn't get to finish it. But I've got all the Pirates of Dark Water. They're in there.
You were doing Alien when we went to York, weren't you?
Yeah.
You like beat 'em ups, don't you?
I love the art style. I don't like the challenge of a game. I like the art style, the aesthetic of it. Yeah, they're all in there, all Pirates of Dark Water. They're just like hidden amongst everything else because there's just not enough room to have. I used to have in this room.
Oh, hello. What's in here?
We'll look at them in a minute.
What's in here?
I used to have in this room like 14 cabinets, 12 cabinets just all the way around, but it was just a room that you come in, looked at and walked out.
But you couldn't actually
when I turned it into my office, I had to change it. But yeah, these are a load more games. These didn't come from house clearances, but these are again like the toys, just stuff that I've acquired either cheap or had given to me over the years, and this is some more prize stuff. So you ain't got free dibs of this box. Look and tell me if jumps out at you. Oh wait, you can have free dibs. What's the of them ones? You need them.
I don't think I've got that one.
You can have that.
Legend.
If you need it, and then this is full of bits like, check this. These are just like full of Game Boy.
Oh wow.
Game Boy. No boxes. Game Boy, and then one's advanced.
Yeah.
Oh, again, all stuff I've just acquired over years. Like this stuff. Like what's that?
Nintendo cardboard. You just throw it. Look at that. Metroid Fusion.
Pokemon.
I'm not an advanced guy, but
Game Boy thing. What's that? Little Pikachu that fits to a Game Boy.
Yeah. Nice. Good stuff, man.
Loads of this is the one. Remember when I lost this in a video for ages?
Oh yeah.
That's a dope little console all working.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
The OG.
Yeah, the OG Game Boy. This is the one I use though. This is like one of those kitted out ones where it's like all being.
You got a backlit screen and that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I just had it on. Was it just?
This is a beautiful looking one though, isn't it?
Well, there we go. Well, yeah, that's the Game Boy Light. I've got every kind of Game Boy in here pretty much. That is dope. You fit that to your computer. You just plug it in and you can play any Game Boy game on your laptop. It needs charging. Oh, there we go. How nice that is.
Can only have dreamed of that as a kid. Sat in the back of the car waiting for the street lights. Trying to play Tetris in the dark.
Loads of Evercade. I like Evercade, but a lot of these I'll never play, so maybe some of them I'll go to Kex at some point.
Yeah.
Pac-Man. Doom. Whatever that is. Advanced inbox.
You've still got even more stuff, haven't you? You've got Mega Drive and stuff like that, you were saying.
Yeah, they're all just in storage.
Somewhere else,
I can't get them out.
Yeah.
What's this? I said it because this is stuff that I've acquired, so it's not even stuff that like I.
Oh wow.
What are they? Oh, they're.
Is that the
Advanced SP?
Mate.
That's a rarer one, I think, because it's got the. This is like when you.
Is it a reshell though?
Is it what?
Is it a reshell?
No, I don't believe so, because that's the box for it.
It's just because it's in Japanese.
Yeah, this box is in Japanese.
Ah, so it's a Japanese one.
Japanese.
I was gonna say you could have took that for a lot of money for CX, but they don't take Japanese.
But they're racist.
You heard it here first. That's a very nice console there. I love that. I love the red one as well.
This is I know their website. Game and Watch.
Yeah.
I got that working on a video before.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Bro, this full of stuff. Just UMDs.
Wow.
That's that thing. You plug that basically into your laptop and you put a Game Boy cartridge in and you just play it in your laptop. Yeah. I got a couple of PSP. More of them.
Well, bro, I could spend probably more than 2 days in here, but we need to go and get some food. Yeah, let's get some food. Let's go to CX. Let's go to, there's another shop somewhere nearby. Because I think we both need more stuff in our lives, don't we? That's what we need.
Let's do this.
But we are now heading to the next venue, which is your eyesight better than mine? What's that called?
Super Retro Video Games.
Super Retro Video Games. Let's go.
I think. Rolling out at lava.
Look at that. Saints Row.
30 quid. Wow. When you get bougie energy drink.
Oh, I didn't know it was in London.
I thought I was bougie with my £2.40.
For all these House of the Dead ones.
There's only 4 in set, so
that's a separate figure, or does that come with that?
he comes with both of them.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah, the other
that's
guy
cool, isn't it?
has the 2 leeches and he has a metal mask, but he ain't got his mask, so.
They're a cool toy line. That one you've got's awesome.
And I like that there's 4 to collect.
Yeah. That's where you want to be at.
Yeah, so I'll get them.
Okay, next up we are in Crystal Peaks. Sheffield, outside a new CX I've never been to before. Theo's armed.
You didn't wear your red. We always wear red when we go. You get the memo.
Let's go. All done?
All done. First time trading in keks, taking stuff in. Bear in mind, like I said, I've got loads of boxes, so that were nothing. I only took like a handful in and got 94 quid, and 3 of them they didn't accept either. So
nice.
Yeah, winning, man.
On your way to that PS5?
Oh, wait for a previous fight.
Yeah, man. Alright, next stop. What, it's like a little game shop here, isn't there?
The market, everything, the game.
After I think about 7 shops and almost 175 miles, I'm back in the 3.0, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty battered and broken. I may have bit off more than I could chew with this hunt. Yeah, I'm gonna rest up with the family. I'm gonna play a bit of Sea of Stars and try and get that done, but I think I'm gonna wait till the morning. I'm gonna check in with you guys and we're gonna take a look at everything that I picked up today, because I'm ready for a sit down and a cup of tea. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, and what a day that was. I don't even know where to begin. So I think that was probably my most ambitious game hunt yet. I think upon reflection, I probably tried to do about 2 days worth of stuff in one day. And sometimes when you're planning these things out on Google Maps and you put in all the different postcodes and stuff, you can kind of make sense and you can kind of think, yeah, that'll work. But then when it comes to like the reality of it, trying to find places to park, traffic, trying to get to certain places for certain times and certain opening times and everything else, it kind of became a bit like a rush. Do you know what I mean? Like everywhere I was going, felt like I was on borrowed time for certain parts of it. So I'm definitely going to go back to those areas again because there's some amazing shops. But like I say, there were parts of it that kind of felt like I need to be somewhere where I'm not, right? And it was kind of like, yeah, it was a great day. We've got some amazing stuff. But I think upon reflection, I probably tried to do too many good things in one day. And I'm not going to lie, when I got back yesterday, man, I had a banging headache. And I was just ready for a bit of a chill out, man. But yeah, well worth it, I've got to say. A fantastic day. And let's get into all the good stuff. And we're going to start, of course, with my very good friend, Theo. Shout out to Slime Mouse TV. Always an absolute pleasure to link up with my good friend when we can. Loved catching up with him. That was like the calm amongst this day. When I got to his house and we could just sit down, chop it up, catch up on everything. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing him as always and getting to tour his fantastic rooms. Not only the studio he's built, but his toy rooms. Yeah, always a good time. And as you've seen on the footage, he was very generous enough to allow me to take whatever I wanted from his vast collection of boxes that he's amassed, courtesy of his dad, who does like house clearance and stuff like that. So there was a couple of games in there that I needed for my collection. The first one I picked up, I think you probably saw this on the footage, is the Worms collection. So I'm trying to get all the compilations on the Xbox 360, so I was really happy to come across this one. This is the 2012 compilation. This contains 3 games that I think were only previously available via download for the system. It's got Worms, the 2007 release, Worms 2 Armageddon, and Worms Ultimate Mayhem. It also contains the free DLC packs. I think there's like 6 DLC packs in here. So yeah, it's a really nice one to be able to add to my Xbox 360 collection. So yeah, very happy with that. And whilst I was upstairs in his toy room, he also pulled this one out, which is another 360 game that I don't already own. Don't know much about this one. So this is Haunted: The Demon's Forge. This is a 2011 action game. I think it's sort of like a dark fantasy world setting. But as I say, don't know too much about this one, so let me know in the comments if you've played it. But the art style on the front looks fantastic. So yeah, another welcomed addition to the 360 collection. And it wasn't just Xbox 360, as you've seen. He had all kinds of different things in there. And you guys know I'm on a bit of a PlayStation 1 kick right now. So when I saw a couple of PlayStation 1 games, yeah, I was very thankful that he was able to gift me these. And this first one, memories. And that is Theme Park. I spent many hours as a child playing this 1995 classic. I've actually got it on the Super Nintendo, but I would assume that it plays better on the PlayStation 1. Probably similar to like games like SimCity 2000 that run a lot better on the PS1 as opposed to the Super Nintendo. It's well deserving of its place on my all-killer, no-filler shelf alongside Theme Hospital. I think you have to have Theme Hospital and Theme Park. And yeah, like I say, the two just belong side by side together. So many nostalgic childhood memories of playing both those games that, yeah, that was a much needed addition to my collection. And this next one, I don't know if this is worthy of being in the all-killer, no-filler PlayStation 1 shelf. You guys will have to let me know. I didn't even know this game existed. But when I saw it, it just called to me because of the original. And that is Rock and Roll Racing 2. I mean, to give it its full title, it's Rock and Roll Racing 2 Red Asphalt. I think in America they actually dropped the Rock and Roll Racing part. It wasn't a sequel. I think it was just called Red Asphalt. I loved the first game, but this 1997 Interplay developed sequel got very average reviews. So like I say, you guys will have to let me know if this deserves to be on the shelf. I'll pop it in the system and have a go. Such a big fan of the first Rock and Roll Racing that I really want to test out this one. So I've got to give a massive thank you once again for Theo and his generosity in allowing me to take any games that I wanted. And yeah, make sure you're checking out his channel and keeping abreast of his journey, because as you've seen, he's trying to get himself to a PlayStation 5. But that is not where his generosity ended, because I don't know if you can just about see up there. I managed to set them up when I got home last night as the first thing that I did. I got them out of the cardboard and set them up. Those fantastic figures that he's made for me. I feel blessed. I said earlier on, right back at the start of the vlog, which seems like a long time ago now, Alex's generosity, how much it meant to me because he developed that game that he'd sent across to me. And it's the same with this, right? To get something heartfelt, that somebody's put so many hours of graft and their time into and dedication to be able to create, to have Toe Jam and Earl and Zool in my games room is, yeah, I feel blessed to be able to do that. They're amazing. They look at home in here. I'm not gonna lie, the colours and everything, they just obviously match this sort of like 90s video game aesthetic. And yeah, I'm so happy with them. I really am. I think what we're going to do, as soon as we finish this, as soon as I finish going through everything that I picked up today, we're going to get these placed, because I've had a home in mind for these things for a while. And yeah, I think we're going to crack on and get these put into their forever home once we've finished going through all this stuff. But yeah, once again, can't thank Theo enough. And it goes without saying, if you're not for any reason following Slammers TV, there'll be a link in the description below. Get involved with that. So from there, let's look at where are we going to go next. I think we'll do Super Retro Video Games. A great shop. Really enjoyed my time in there. I'd never been there before, so it was all new to me. And the shop itself was like a nice size and it was full. There was stuff everywhere, but it didn't feel like overcrowded. Some really nice pieces in there. There wasn't really too much that I needed. I'd already spent quite a lot of my budget in the first stop, which we'll get to shortly. But there was one thing in particular that caught my eye, just something I'd never seen before. Guys, you know, right, when it comes to cardboard, I'm like a moth to a flame, and this was just a piece of cardboard that I've never seen before. So on the PlayStation 4, this is WWE 2K18, but it's the WrestleMania edition. So as you can see, it comes in this cardboard box. Inside here, there's like a poster, there's some like Topps trading cards and all that kind of thing. But this was just £5, and if I ever see sort of like cardboard or anything like this I've never seen before for a fiver for a system that I collect for and enjoy playing, the chances are I'm going to pick it up. So yeah, happy to be adding that to my small PlayStation 4 collection. At this point, my PS4 collection is pretty much just things like this, big box editions and things that I find interesting on the shelves that I've picked up from CX and other places. Yeah, I think this is definitely a worthy addition, and for just £5, really happy with that. I definitely recommend anybody visiting that shop if you're in the Sheffield area. I'll definitely be going back, because yeah, really enjoyed my time in there. And speaking of enjoying my time there, I couldn't enjoy my time in Doorway to Darkness. That was one of the places where I felt like I was on borrowed time. I was already behind schedule, but I couldn't not go in, because Doorway to Darkness is such a great shop. But I think because I've been there so many times before, I didn't feel like I had to fully experience it on this occasion, because, like I say, I've been to Doorway to Darkness many times before, and I'll go many times again in the future. But obviously, being close, I had to go in. I did a quick lap, as you've seen, and I'm really glad I did, because I found a game which I'm actively pursuing, and it's a PlayStation 1 game that isn't listed on the CEX database. Now, CEX is very strange when it comes to what PlayStation 1 games they do and don't have on their system. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not just cheap sports titles. There are some like good games and some expensive games that just, for some reason, they don't have on their system. And this is one of those good games. So this is Street Fighter... what's the full title? These Street Fighter games, man. Actually, they just add words, right? Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha. So this was originally a 1996 coin-op arcade game, and it got a PlayStation 2 release just a year later. This is the first game in the Street Fighter series to feature 3D polygon graphics. There was actually an N64 version stated, but that was later cancelled, which I think is a shame. I think this would have suited the N64 quite well. The thing is, whilst it does have polygonal graphics, easy for me to say, it still actually plays more like a 2D fighter than some of the more 3D fighters that are out there. So yeah, it's a real interesting one. I think there was only 2 of these games released. I've already got EX2 Plus down there. And the reason I love it is because I just love the lore. I love the whole Street Fighter franchise, and this is a part of Street Fighter's history. There's characters in here that I don't think featured again in the Street Fighter universe. I think characters like Scully and some other people that you see in some later franchises down the line. So yeah, it's definitely a part of the Street Fighter history. I am going for the full Street Fighter PlayStation 1 set, and with this not being available at CX, this was a great one to pick up in person. So yeah, whilst it was just a whistle-stop tour of Doorway to Darkness, I was delighted to be able to pick this one up and one step closer to that full PlayStation 1 Street Fighter collection. So yeah, very, very happy with that. And then, that takes me to what was the first stop of the day, the Doncaster CEX. But before that, actually, let me give an honourable mention to Cool Spot Games. Like I say, I think I got there at a strange time. They hadn't long been open. He'd been on a holiday for a few weeks, and I think I caught him at a strange time in terms of being able to see all the stock and everything. But I have since contacted him, and there is a game on its way, and we're going to get into that next week. But yeah, I'm delighted with that purchase, but I just don't have it here with me now. I kind of had non-buyer's regret, so I know, I've got an issue. But anyway, we'll pick that one up next week. But CEX in Doncaster, I was very, very impressed. The layout of the shop was great. There was lots of good retro. It was one of the best selections of video games I've seen in a CEX for quite some time. The staff was a different issue, not overly helpful, but it didn't affect my experience any. And the first game that I found was just one that I wasn't expecting to find. So you guys will know, especially if you saw Wednesday's video, I've done the PS3 Essentials. I'm absolutely delighted to finally have the PS3 Essentials set complete, which means I'm now moving on to finishing the PS4 hits. There's not many hits left for me to get. So we're at that point where most of them now are quite rare, and I would expect to have to take to eBay or Amazon or wherever to find them. So I was very, very surprised to see this just sat on the shelves. And that is Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise, the PlayStation Hits version. This is an action RPG published by Sega, and it's based, of course, on the hit manga franchise. This is a 2018 release. It plays in third person, and as you'll probably be seeing now, there's a lot of similarities between this and the Yakuza series. There's elements of different gameplay here, but primarily there's a lot of like a beat-em-up style as you'll sort of brawl your way through the mean streets of what is, I believe, a post-apocalyptic alternative timeline, which is where the difference is between this and the Yakuza series. It's not a manga series that I'm, au fait with. I don't know much about this one, but it definitely looks interesting. It's certainly one which holds its value. I think it's gone up in price. I think at one point this was 18. It's now gone up to 20. And like I say, just not one that you see in this format very often at all. I've never seen this on the shelves. So, yeah, it felt like fate, right? With me having just completed the PS3 Essentials, to now find this. And we're not many away from the full hit set now. Literally a handful away. I need to do a recount, so we'll probably do that on next week's vlog. But yeah, that was a great start to life at Doncaster CEX. But there was a slight ulterior motive to me going as far as Doncaster, as well as visiting a few of these shops in and around the area. I knew this game was in stock. There's only 2 of these games in stock in the country at CEX, and I was just praying that this was in good condition. Thankfully it was. I picked it up. This has been, I think I said on the footage, my number 1 realistic retro target, because obviously we've all got delusions of grandeur and wanting games at ridiculous prices or very, very difficult to find. But this was a game, like I said, that we knew was in stock, and it's £120 complete. So yeah, I had to pick it up. Anyway, that game is, I always called it Soleil, but I think it's probably French for sun, which is Soleil. So we'll call it Soleil. Yeah, Soleil. It would be easier if it was just called what it's called in North America, which is Crusader of Senti. So this 1995 Nextech developed overhead action RPG centers on the main character, a boy called Corona, who, after inheriting his late father's sword, must now fight monsters that threaten humans' very existence. This game has a large focus on exploring, sword battles, and solving puzzles. Corona is able to communicate with plants and animals alike, so you can have up to 2 companions which add different abilities. So you kind of know the drill by now. So for example, you might be joined by a cheetah, which will give you additional pace boosts. Once written off as Sega's answer to Zelda, I think this game's actually a lot more than that. You'll be seeing on the footage now, this game looks fantastic. It looks like it's very varied in its gameplay, and I think to just call it a Zelda clone is probably a little bit of a cheap shot, a bit unfair. I only recently learned of this game in the last few months. I saw some footage of it, as you guys are probably seeing now, and I thought, wow, that looks fantastic. And I think one of the reasons that this game never really caught my eyes, when you see this game sat in a shop for £100, £120, £150, whatever it may be, that box art's not really doing much, is it? That's not, I mean, I don't even know what kind of game that is. It's not giving you anything away. But yeah, the game looks great, and it's just one that I can't wait to play. So I'm really, really excited to be adding this one to my Mega Drive collection. And like I say, this has been my number 1 target for quite some time. So absolutely delighted with that. This is the first of my purchases from my CX vouchers. Although it wasn't quite that straightforward, because I had a few things to trade in anyway. We had all those things that I picked up when we went away last week. So we've still got the bulk of those £500 vouchers, so we will be doing a huge CEX lottery soon. I'm still busy putting things in and out of my basket at the CEX online app, but soon I'm going to lock those decisions down, and you guys will be seeing what I pick up. Yes, there's going to be some real nice bits added to the collection. But yeah, absolutely delighted with not only that, but everything that I picked up on what was a monstrously huge game hunt. So yeah, a fantastic day all round. But I think what we're going to do now is get those fantastic figures placed here in the games room. So the Mega Drive wall is where I intend to house these figures. Now, this wall has been annoying me for a couple of weeks now, simply because when I first implemented the wall, I intended to have all the games forward facing, as you can see, as we've done on the top with Super Nintendo. Now, it just annoys me that it's all a bit off-center, right? Because the Mega Drive sign's on the second shelf down, which I do because I don't want it on top with that light, so that's why it's there. Now, I'm happy enough with that. I don't mind the fact that it's not perfectly equidistant, because we don't have 5 rows, we only have 4. I don't mind it being there. But I think in conjunction with that, the fact that these ones are spine-facing, and then you've got this where they're forward-facing, I think there's just too many things which throw my eye. Now, I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to displaying my games. So whilst it's not a huge issue, I don't hate it, I just don't love it. It doesn't feel like perfection to me. So what I think we're going to do, at least for now, until maybe there's a long-term solution in completely moving things around, I'm going to put all this bottom row as spine facing. I think rather than having it sort of switch half with half, because this used to only be a few games, right? But obviously as we keep adding Mega Drive games, the spine only is growing and growing. So I think what we're going to do, flip all of these around so we've just got that bottom row entirely of spines. Get my figures added alongside, of course, the Toe Jam and Earl game. And yeah, I think that'll give us a bit of a better look. And then we'll try and find a home for Zool as well. So that's done, and whilst obviously we've now got a space here, I don't mind that. I'm at a point in my collecting life where I'm actually happy to see space. I just think it just gives a little bit more uniformity to a wall which can't be completely uniform. Over time we might take it down a little bit. We might sort of like develop the Sega wall a little bit more. We have recently added those bits there as well, so I think as a complete picture it still works. But yeah, happy with this. I've rejigged this so that obviously we've got more of the colour coding going on. Some of the non-black spine games are now grouped together alongside the blue spines. Then we've got the black spine. And then, of course, what was always my vision, having these fantastic custom pieces alongside the game. So I think that looks great. So this game will always just get moved down, as will the figures. And there's still quite a lot of room to grow, which is fantastic. I love adding to the Mega Drive. So there's plenty space there to add more Mega Drive games. So that's that, and now we need to find a home for this little guy, which is arguably my favourite of the three figures. Now it proved a lot harder to place Zool here in the 3.0. As you can see, space is very much at a premium, and the only Zool game I have is on the Super Nintendo. Now it's very difficult to display any more toys or figures on the Super Nintendo wall. There just isn't really the opportunity to do so. However, what I've done is right up here, bang. So I've put my Zool game as the last Super Nintendo game. I've got my Zool figure in here, look, alongside Hagar, which coincidentally was picked up for me by Theo as well. So this is like my little Theo shrine up here now in the 3.0. So yeah, I've got Zool there alongside the game and Hagar, and yeah, I think that looks pretty good up there in that corner of the 3.0. And that is gonna do it for this week's Ghetto vlog. Now, this is the point where I usually say to you guys what a week it's been, how long ago it seems since the start of the vlog, but I think this week it speaks for itself, right? Yeah, one of them weeks that's going down in the Ghetto vlog history books without a doubt. This is probably the longest ever vlog, or certainly close to, given how much I've tried to ram into this week. But I've absolutely loved it, loved everything about it. You guys know there's nothing I love more than going out, hunting, meeting up with like-minded people, and yeah, ultimately adding amazing pieces to my collection. And yeah, we did all of that in abundance, so couldn't be happier. In terms of a bit of housekeeping, so I said I was giving away this, so the winner will be on screen now. I've also had a lot of people message me about this mint copy of Virtua Fighter that I found on the charity shop. This has already been given away to a Dreamcast collector over in the Ghetto Gang. So yeah, that's already been passed on to a better home. Speaking of the Ghetto Gang, there will be a link in the description below if you want to get involved with all the good stuff that we've got going on over there, and the fantastic Discord. But I think that's going to do it, guys. So I want to take this time to say a massive thank you for everyone that's taken the time to watch, especially if you've watched this far into the video. If you've watched right to the end, let me know in the comment section below. Simply drop me a comment saying end Ghetto, and then I'll know that you stuck it out to the end. But I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday. Play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. I think I do need it, bro.
I did think about starting.
Yeah, 40 quid game.
So what is it trading at?
I think it's like 26. Take that all day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All day. That's the outro screen.
All right.